Hey gang, Melissa Henault here with the Burnout to All Out podcast. I'm a mom of three, corporate burnout that built a secondary six-figure income around my 9 to 5 with little kids. This set me free and allowed me to fire my boss and pursue my wildest dreams. It took grit, persistence, and belief. But now operating multiple six-figure businesses as an online entrepreneur and business coach, I have become a serial entrepreneur with a passion to inspire more burnouts to take the leap and go all out and live out their dreams. Each week, I'll bring you inspiring all-out guests, lifestyle business tips and tools to empower you to take the leap from burnout employee to all-out entrepreneur, making your passion your paycheck. If this mom of three, corporate burnout, can go all out, so can you.
In this episode today, I challenge you to manifest your dreams through getting crystal clear on what it is you want and then creating intentionality to go after it. Today, I'm going to tell you my own story and how it's unfolded for me over the past 7 years and where I'm headed. And I hope this story can inspire you that if I can do it, so can you. So today's podcast is all about manifesting your dreams. And timely, as I'm recording this podcast, there is a lot of construction going on in my backyard where we just renovated and created a new office for me in the back of the house overlooking a brand new pool and outdoor living area that is still being constructed, which was, by the way, part of dreams that I manifested. Today is going to be all about this. Thoughts become words, right? Words become actions. And actions become your reality. So I thought that what I would do today is take a pause and reflect upon the intentionality of manifesting my dreams over the past 6 to 7 years and showcase to you guys how it is possible to manifest your dreams and why having a vision board and knowing what it is you would do with the unlimited income, what it is you would do with the unlimited time that actually propels you forward. It's not a dollar amount. Reaching for a goal, for an income, for a dollar amount in sales. Guys, it's only going to take you so far when the going gets tough, unless there is a result, emotion, lifestyle, memories that are associated with experiences with family, unless those are associated with the financial goal, many fall short because, like I said, when the going gets tough, they give up because they don't know, they get lost in why they're doing it in the first place. So here's the deal. 7 years ago, I was living someone else's dreams, and I was okay with that. If you're listening to this podcast, you've gotten to a point where you're not okay with that. Maybe you're not there yet, but you're not okay with where you are, right? Or you're excited for where you're headed. But here's the thing, and maybe some of you guys can relate to this. I did not have a designed, planned out life that I wanted to live. You guys hear me say this a lot, but I was one of those miserable cows standing in the rain, accepting the status quo like all of those around me, like all the other miserable cows standing in the rain, not questioning why. I was okay with waking up, checking the boxes, going through the motions, and ultimately building someone else's dreams who had started the company I was working for, who was telling me the number of hours I had to work a week, who was telling me the number of days of vacation I could take, who was telling me my value hourly, no matter how hard I worked. I had a capped income, right? Every single day. I ultimately landed at a crossroads in my life in my mid-30s. I had a choice, and so do you. The choice was go the safe path. Leading in one direction was that predictable, prescribed path, right? But the other direction in the crossroads was uncertainty, and it was possibility in the other direction. Entrepreneurship, right? To many of us, me included, up until my mid-30s, spent years, decades in pursuit of someone else's plan for our precious one life that we have to live. The safe, prescribed path. Do good, make good grades, get a reliable career, check the boxes, and get a good 401k. Work hard 40 hours a week for 40 years to live off of 40% of your income for the rest of your life, right? Call it what you want, but dipping my proverbial toe into entrepreneurship with my network marketing business 6 or 7 years ago gave me permission to dream. Those of you who are in the industry know what I'm talking about, right? I was able to dream again. I was able to create this mini business with little risk and flex, just flexibility, and flex my entrepreneurial spirit to create things that were mine. It was my first chance of owning something and leading something that literally had a direct correlation between my work and my income. I owned it. And I created an additional income stream that ultimately created financial freedom and passive income and choice to pivot from my predictable, prescribed career. Now, this podcast isn't to get into the depths of that, but the bottom line is being willing to take a low risk opportunity to build something out alongside my 9-to-5 instead of taking, more risk than I wanted and leaving my 9-to-5. It allowed me to create financial freedom and time freedom to then now pursue my wildest dreams as a business coach. So here's the thing, 7 years ago, I was at the pinnacle of my career while I also built out an additional asset because I wanted more than the prescribed, predicted life. For those of you who are in the social selling industry, I want you to hear my story and know that there are hundreds of thousands of people just like me who have not discovered social selling, have not discovered the ability to create a passive income with low risk outside their 9-to-5 that can be the gateway to building their dreams. And that's exactly what happened for me, guys. That passive income that I built up long-term allowed me to then go dabble in entrepreneurship and start other businesses with little risk because my passive income was already paying the bills, right? I'm in this mastermind right now that is just a conglomeration of online entrepreneurs in every walk of life. Most of them do not have a background in network marketing at all, and they are feast and famine. So many of them have left, for instance, their medical practice or their law practice to start their own businesses. And they are living off the income that they're making, and they're trying to reinvest the income that they're making, and they're trying to hire people while they're trying to make an income. And this is where you hear of starting a business and not making a profit for 3 years, right? Most people are in those shoes, right? But when you already have built up a passive income that covers the bills, I truly believe when you go to start your own business that you can pour gasoline on it and the fire explodes because you're not having to take from that pot to live off of. You can pour it back into your business. And it drives massive results and massive ROI. And I'll tell you, my business coach told me that. She's like, you are in a really incredible, unique situation where you don't even need the money you're making in this business because you've already got money to live off of passively with another business, right? Okay. Enough of that. Here's the thing. The real focus of this podcast today was manifest your dreams. And I've been reflecting in massive gratitude over the past couple of weeks. And I wanted to share with you guys my vision and my vision board 6 or 7 years ago and check in with you today and where I've landed and challenge you to do the same exercise. And then I'm also going to share with you my new vision and where I'm headed and why. Because like I said at the opening of this podcast, a financial goal, a rank advancement title, guys, that's not enough to propel you forward when life gets tough, when business gets tough, when babes get sick, when a spouse travels, right? When a family member's sick. What propels you forward with zero excuse is the vision of where you're headed and the life you will live and the tangible things that you will have and the experiences you will create. That, my friend, will make you go the extra mile. So I was and I am a dreamer. My husband to this day thinks I have the craziest visions and goals, but I have so much fun blowing his mind and exceeding them. It's fun, right? You have to have somebody who's very practical in the relationship and someone who dreams, right? It was at a time I was challenged to create a vision board without holding back in my social selling network marketing business nearly 6 or 7 years ago that truly ignited the life that I am living now. So let me talk to you about my vision board 6 or 7 years ago. And I spent quite some time on it. And here's what was on my vision board. At the time, keep in mind, I was working crazy hours in my 9 to 5. I had 2 kids in diapers, and we had moved into the city so that the commute for both of us wasn't so bad. We traded land for commute. We traded land for time. What do I mean by that? We had lived further out, but the commute for my husband and the commute for me to the airport, we were spending more time on the road. Even though we had this great land, we didn't spend time on it except for on the weekends. So we gave that up and moved into the city and built a great home, but it was on a tiny postage stamp lot where there was no land for anything, right? But we could get to the airport and go to work really fast so we could get home really fast and spend some precious time with our family. I yearned for time in my life to do so many things that I wasn't able to do at the moment. Time to tend to a garden, time to spend with my kids, right? More than what I was getting at the time. I really, on my vision board, I was so passionate about leadership. I knew that I was talented and skilled in that. There's a reason I climbed the corporate ladder to such a high level leadership role in a Fortune 500 so quickly. It's just one of my natural talents to coach and to lead. But I wanted to do it on my own terms, not for someone else. I wanted to take my coaching gift and impact women and empower them to create a life on their terms, but make killer money and provide and be an amazing mom all at the same time while being healthy. It was a mission statement of mine and is to this day. I wanted to be able to join a country club because my husband loves to play golf and I've picked up the game with him. It's a pastime we enjoy together, and tennis, and the kids having a club pool to go play and socialize with their friends in a safe area. You guys, in Charlotte, it is so hot in the summer times, and we lived in the city with no pool, a ton of concrete, and no pool close by, and a wait list for like 5 years to get into a club pool. So it may sound silly, but that was on my vision board. I also was envisioning making enough money to contribute at a different level in my community. I'd always wanted to give back more financially to the church than I had, to give back more for what they had done for me growing up. You know, as a child growing up, my mom couldn't afford to pay the tuition for the overnight summer camps. And our church always found a way to find scholarships for me. And I wanted to be able to give back and to pave it forward. I wanted to be able to help my sister out more, who's got mental illness and drug addiction. I wanted to be able to invite my parents on trips and say, hey, it's on us. It's not going to cost you anything. I wanted to be able to put my kids in private school. I wanted them to get a top-notch education. Call this vain, but I wanted a luxury SUV, damn it. I did not want a crappy car. I wanted one that was super comfortable to ride in, but looked amazing too. I really wanted a G-Wagon. That was like my bucket list automobile. It is. It's okay, guys, to have goals in life that are material. It is okay. We work hard for that. What else? I wanted to have enough money. Again, these are all things that revolve around money. I wanted to have enough money to invest in a larger property with space for our kids and for me to have a garden to tend to. I wanted the time to tend to a garden, but I wanted the space to tend to a garden. I'd even given up on the idea when we lived in the city because there was nowhere to put it. And beyond the country club, we wanted a pool of our own in our backyard. Space for a pool, money for a pool, and time for a pool, right? And room for them to roam and play as they grow. So here's the thing. All these things, you guys, did you ever hear me say, I want to make $1 million? Did you ever hear me give you a rank advanced goal? Did you ever hear me give you an exact dollar value per month that I wanted to make? No, I'm giving you a vision of a life I wanted to live, to contribute, to have time, to spend more time with my family, to create memories, to be able to afford the finer things in life. And I got granular with it. Now, I will say the only way to achieve that vision is to then back into a really good business plan. And I've got a whole podcast on that you can go listen to about setting goals. That's not for today. This is about vision casting, because your goals, guys, I can tell you right now, your goals are not worth a dime if you don't have a clear vision of why you want the goals in the first place. Okay. So I put these goals on paper and then I put them on a vision board in front of me in my office above my computer while I was working full time. One of my favorite pictures on my vision board was a great photo of Jake and I with our 2 little kids before we had our baby, the third one. And they're on our backs. We're in our beach clothes. We've got beach hair. We're giving them a piggyback ride. And that was the snapshot of me of wanting to create more income and more time freedom to have more memories and more vacations. Because when we are in our happy place, we are our best dynamically as a family. And I wanted more of that. Right? That was just put right in front of me. So here's the thing. I put the goals on paper. I put them in front of me. And guess what I started doing? I started talking about it with my family, with the kids, with my husband, getting them on board with the vision board, which then held me accountable because I didn't want to disappoint them. Right? And I got to work. Okay. Again, not for this podcast, but I created a business plan after having my vision. I had milestones, goals, and objectives that I was keeping my finger on the pulse of my progression of where I needed to be, what my retirement date would look like, how I was paying off certain debts, right? And here's the thing, slowly over 5 years, and I want you guys to hear that. Some items on your vision board are going to be short-term. Some of them are going to be more long-term. It doesn't happen overnight, but I manifested so many of these dreams. It makes me want to cry. And again, it happened slowly. And many years and many hurdles that I hit, I could have given up. There were slumps and humps and dips in my network marketing business, but I kept going forward. There were weeks where we were all sick and I didn't know how I was ever going to get back on track, but I did. There were moments when I was launching my LinkedIn bootcamp 1.5 years ago and my entire Facebook account was hacked, right? At every milestone, there was massive pushback. And the only thing that helped me persevere was my vision of where I was headed. Are you ready to start having way more fun adding new business partners to your social selling team this summer? Or maybe you're just burnt out and worn out of the old recruitment tactics that aren't working anymore, that are just hard to stand out on platforms that so many other social sellers are using. It's time you start getting the return on investment you were hoping for with your business. You're working hard. You're just on the wrong platform with the wrong message to find the business partners that are going to lock arms with you and build your dreams together. I'm going to let you in on how I built multiple six-figure businesses, using the power of LinkedIn and my proven methods over a free 5-day course. Avoid that dreaded summer business drip that so many experience in social selling. Register today and let's start having fun. Go check out the Burnout to All Out Facebook page. Join our free community and get registered today. We launch on May 17th. Hope to see you in my free workshop. So here we are today, and let's talk about income, wealth generation, and what I've been able to do with it. Guess what? Our kids have been in private school all year this year. The pandemic hit. We had great passive income to put them into a private school. The kids have loved it so much. We've already renewed the program for next year for a superior education. Making significant contributions to the church. We just did our taxes. In 2020, I wrote the biggest check I've ever written in a donation, 10 times what I've ever written to the church. I bought a luxury SUV a year ago. Now, it wasn't the G-Wagon because I have 3 kids now, and there's only 1 row in the back, and with 2 still in booster seats, it's not functional. So I got the QX80. But mark my words, when my kids are big enough that they can sit 3 in a row, this mama's getting a G-Wagon. I am. It's okay. I'm sure you all have your bucket list of item that's just totally luxurious that you want. That is called lifestyle. And we work hard to also have the lifestyle that we desire. But lifestyle comes after getting completely competent and settled in your finances, right? That's, again, another podcast. What else? I've been able to help my sister out who's got mental illness. I'm paying for her cell phone bill right now. I'm shipping her food. I'm in the process of working with her on finding a program to get her reacclimated into society after 20 years of drug abuse and mental illness. We just booked a luxurious, incredible long weekend in an amazing mountain home in May, and we're bringing my mom all expenses paid. We bumped up the square footage in the house, and we're very specific that we needed 2 king beds one was on the master floor for my mom, so she doesn't have to go up and down the stairs, but there was another one for my husband and I so that we can sleep comfortably. And we rented this amazing, I don't even know what you call them. They're like RVs. They're not RVs, ATVs, like a 6-person 4-wheel, almost like a 4-wheeler / golf cart, if that makes any sense, to get around the mountain. But what is my point here? It was a no holds bar and purchase because we wanted to make sure we could sleep comfortably. We did not mind paying the additional couple $1,000s with the home for 5 days to make sure my mom was super comfortable too. And that is the space I want to operate in. If we want it and it's something we want to enjoy, I don't want to have to check my bank account to see if we can afford it, right? I want to be able to treat my mom if she wants to be on the ground level of the home, but I don't want to sacrifice the master suite, right? Find a house that has 2. Okay. What else? Over the past year and a half, we have found a property big enough with 2 acres to fulfill my dreams. Okay, let me back into this for a minute. We lived in the city because of our commutes. Because I left my 9 to 5 and had more time freedom with the kids to and fro school, we really no longer needed to be attached to the location we were in because I wasn't working with that commute to the airport anymore. We were able to make a calculated move out into the country close enough to the city that we could have the plot of land and the beautiful home that we wanted. And now I have 3 garden beds, not 1, not 2, but 3. This year we put in a pool. We have space for our kids to roam. We've got a creek in the back. They've got their playground. We've got a massive swing. We're putting in a meditation Zen garden that's been on my bucket list for eons thinking it would never happen. Guys, I can't make this shit up. I manifested it. Some of you may be listening to this saying, well, good for you. You're just lucky. I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. I'm blessed because I've been intentional and accountable. And it is, I do give God the glory for everything that has manifested because it has been in his hands for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. But the bottom line is, I'm not lucky. I come from a broken home. I came from a broke family. I could have ended up homeless like my sister. I was a statistic living at the poverty level. So as you're listening to this, I hope this inspires you rather than makes you think that you're jealous or that I'm lucky. I want you to see this as anything is possible. I can manifest if I put it down, focus on it, and get intentional. Let's talk about time in my life. Now I have more time to make higher impact and do what I need to get that have more time to give a bigger, higher impact to this world, to this globe than just going through the motions. How many of you, this was me in corporate. I was so busy with my job and my kids. I could barely keep my nose above water to keep up with my own tasks in life, much less keep up with anyone else's. I was the friend that would forget my friends' birthdays and miss birthday parties because I was too busy with my own life. That was me before creating my own business, creating my own time freedom, and being in charge of my life. Now, I get to spend more time with my kids than ever before. I used to be on planes half the month. Half the month, I was gone. And if I wasn't gone, I was working crazy hours to keep up with my career. Now I'm spending way more time with my kids. No flights away from them for a corporation. I do travel a couple times a year for my own professional development, and I love it. I look forward to my mastermind trips. I have rules around my business. I don't take a single call, and my executive assistant knows this. My calendar is clear after 3 p.m. every single day. Every single day. I've created more time for myself. Guys, I get an adjustment and a massage every single week. I have an adjustment and a massage tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I get a hydrofacial once a month. And I do a quarterly retreat with, guess what? Just myself for 3 days to revive and pour into myself and to journal and to business plan and all the things. Guys, I manifested this. I've got time to actually tend the garden that I manifested through making space on a property, right? And I've been able to drop everything when needed, when crisis hits. I had a dear friend who lost a baby at 30 weeks last year. I literally dropped everything to support her and her family as they went through the tragedy. We're going through hardships with my dad and my sister right now. And because of the flexibility of my business, I'm able to flex and support and be there for them. I'm able to help my sister working on her transition in this program. 10 years ago, I didn't have the time. 5 years ago, I didn't have the time. I didn't own my calendar, right? How many of you have been so busy, like I said before, that you don't even have time to stop and lend a hand? You just feel sorry for people and move on. Maybe you passively say, what can I do to help? But you're waiting on them to tell you what you could do to help or hoping they don't ask for anything versus diving in and contributing and helping without asking because you have the time, because you own your time. I've also created the time in my space, in my life, because I created the passive income and network marketing to create a whole nother business that will make $1 million this year. Guys, I've manifested being able to coach and lead other people to manifest their dreams and create time freedom and generational wealth for my family at the same time. And the cherry on top, we joined a country club last year. We are not frou-frou people, but we love going to the club. We love playing golf. We look like the homeless kids. I will pick my kids up from the Montessori private school that they go to, which by the way, is not a hoity-toity private school. If you guys know private schools, this private school, they believe in letting 3-year-olds dress themselves. My 3-year-old will come out of school with his shoes backwards and his pants backwards and his underwear backwards, but he did it himself. They believe in them playing in the dirt and the mud, no matter whether it's raining or not. I will pick my muddy kids up who've had a great day at school with backwards pants and backwards shoes and show up at the country club for dinner and not give a shit what the world thinks of how we're dressed, because that's the type of person I am, right? That comes from my grandma. Thank you, Grandma. That comes from my grandma. We didn't join the club for status. We joined it for function, and we freaking love it. Love it. So here's the thing, guys. Making a vision board works because it's no longer money you're chasing, but it's impact that income will provide. Impact on the world, impact on your family, impact. It's okay if part of the impact are things that you want, right? Don't get me wrong. You need a game plan and action steps to move your vision forward, but it's the vision that will help you take action even when you don't feel like it, because the vision is more powerful than a dollar sign. Example, the pandemic. Guys, when the pandemic hit, if you guys have listened to any of my other podcasts or follow me in our Burnout to All Out community, when the pandemic hit last March, I was just starting to hit stride and growing my LinkedIn attraction marketing coaching business. I already had a great passive income in my network marketing business, but I had all these things on my vision board. The big bucket list was the pool in the backyard. The pandemic hit, and I could have taken a back seat, and I could have coasted and given up, and I could have been all hands on deck, homeschooling the kids versus making it figure outable and finding a way to have my kids get some great interaction with what we ultimately did, because I realized it was figure outable and we wanted that pool, damn it. My business was in momentum. I got creative and I found a college kid who could come over literally 4 hours, 3 days a week. That's what I had from March until September of last year. 4 hours, 3 days a week, she would come watch my kids. And every minute of those 4 hours, I made count as I grew and scaled my coaching business to the multiple 6-figure income it is today. So don't give me excuses that you don't have time. I love the term that anything is figure outable if you want it bad enough. The money wasn't what I wanted bad enough. It wouldn't have propelled me. It was the amazing pool and the memories of the summers to come with my children and friends and family that were going to happen in our backyard that propelled me. I hope you guys are hearing this. I hope you're hearing this. So here we are. It's April, and I'm tickled to death that our pool is done. They're finishing up the cabana pool house right now. And I have scaled back my hours for the summer to be sure that my kids and I have a blast in this backyard while driving a business. What you focus on, you find. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your reality. And your reality, guys, it's the one life you get to live. So you might be asking, what's on your vision board for next year, Melissa? Where are you headed after this? Well, I'm dreaming big, guys. I'm dreaming big. I have a vision and a heart for nonprofit and with homeless women, with the trial and tribulations I've had with my sister and knowing the vicious cycle for women and drug abuse and mental illness and the homelessness that they endure and the lack of resources to get them off the streets. It's a passion that I have. My vision in 2022, working with my financial planner, working with my business coach, is how can I begin to redirect a portion of my sales to drive this mission? And I can tell you that it will only make me want to work harder in my coaching business, knowing the impact, not only that I'm making on the people I'm coaching or the income it will bring in for my family, but with the success of the business, the impact I can make for these women who are homeless and have mental illness and struggle with drug addiction. It is so close to my heart. So that is bucket list vision board number 1 for 2022. An investment property. I'm educating myself on how can I take the money I've made and worked so hard for and make it work harder for me, but also create lifestyle. So we're looking at taking some of the profit in my business and investing in building a mountain home that can become a rental property, but also a vacation home for our family. And from there, I'm looking at more investments in property to create more passive income and generational wealth. I'm also I'm planning a family month-long trip. I want to do this every single year in the summer, as long as I can, because my kids are only home for the summer for so many years before they graduate and they're gone. So I want to take my kids to Australia for a month in 2022. And I want to go to Italy for a month in 2023. I want to plan each year a month per summer away abroad with the kids. And when my husband can fly in for a couple of days or weeks, however it works with his schedule, or if he wants to ultimately retire and manage our assets, that could be a full-time job for him. That is another big bucket vision board, is that I create such generational wealth that I know my husband loves to work and he loves leadership and he loves what he does, but I think that he would do a phenomenal job managing all the assets that we build out and making that his career. And then he can consult on the side in his zone of genius with what he does today, but we'll see. That's an option for him. What else? Guys, I want to take my kids to Disney next year. No holds bar, the most luxurious hotel right on site, all the perks, everything, and not be concerned with the price tag. And I want to bring my parents and it not cost them a penny. That's an experience, right? That's what I'm shooting for, is the experience, the moments, the memories. And then the other thing I want to instill starting this year is when each child turns 10 years old, I want them to tell me, where do they want to go in the United States for a long weekend with mom? And I'm treating them to a 10-year birthday celebration just with me. So my son will be 10 in November. I know that he's dying to go to Legoland. And that is a goal of mine for each child, wherever they want to go, special time with mom. So here's the thing, guys. I'm making a call to action. You know, I love giving you homework if you're going to listen all the way through, right? Dream big. Get quiet and listen to your dreams. If money was no limit, what would your life look like? I want you to create a list of 200 things, opportunities, actions. If money was no object, you would be doing right now. If money and time were no obstacle. Write 200 things down and then pare down 5 to 10 of them. Put them on a vision board. Set a date. Talk to your family. Then, only then, go back to my goal setting episode and create your business plan to create the income to manifest your dreams. If this 41-year-old mama with 3 kids can build her dreams with 4-hour pockets a couple days a week during the pandemic, you can too. You can too. Get crystal clear on what you want, what it's going to do for you, the life it's going to create for you, and watch the obstacles you will overcome to manifest your dreams. Thanks for listening to the Burnout to All Out podcast. For free resources, materials, or information on my coaching services, go ahead over to livethefreelife.co. That's livethefreelife.co. Or check out our Facebook community at Burnout to All Out, and make sure you follow Burnout to All Out on Spotify and subscribe to iTunes. And it would truly mean the world to me if you paused for just a second, gave me that 5-star review of the show, and be sure to share this episode with any burnouts you think would be inspired to go all out after hearing this episode.